with Lorie Burcham of Crumb, and today we're talking all about cakes. Lorie, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, how did you get started in this business?
Well, I grew up in the restaurant business, so the food industry is kind of in my blood. I've been baking cookies since I was a little girl, and I think the natural progression was start doing cakes. I started doing cakes to local restaurants, and they would sell them as their desserts. And I realized one day I wasn't really making a whole lot of money doing wholesale cakes, so I thought I wanted to learn how to do some beautiful wedding cakes and really go somewhere with it. So that's how it started.
And is that when you established Crumb?
Yes. Well, first I just started doing a few things on the side, just trying to be a blessing for the people in my church. And, we had some weddings, and I started just saying, hey, I'll try to do your cake. And after about a year, some of the ladies in the church, they took up an offering for me and sent me away to school to do just the whole full cake course, decorating course. And so that was a real blessing. So I came back, and after that is when Crumb was established.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there are some beautiful, beautiful cakes in here, a lot of pretty wedding cakes. Is that mainly what you do, wedding cakes?
We do mainly wedding cakes. We do groom's cakes as well. We also do birthday cakes and anniversaries and shower cakes, but I think mostly we do wedding cake.
Now, what's your most popular cake, would you say?
Our most popular cake we call the Crumb cake because it was the first girl who designed it, or I designed it for. Her name was Crumb, but it's also the bling cake. Bling is real big right now. Everybody loves the jewels, so it's just the white on white with the bursts of bling on it. Other than that, I would have to say our sandcastle cake.
Okay.
A lot of destination weddings, and everybody loves the sandcastle cake.
So you make those once a week? Or?
Once a week at least, if not 2 to 3 times in a week, we'll have 2 to 3 of those cakes.
And have you ever had just a completely off-the-wall, crazy cake that you had to come up with?
Well, we have done a couple of different cakes, not necessarily wedding cakes. We've done for the Brunswick Little Theater. We did the Dr. Seuss. We did a big Dr. Seuss cake. We've done a Willy Wonka cake. We really like the topsy-turvy cakes. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but they look like they're falling. We've done several of those. So, yeah, we've done a few. We love that. But unfortunately, a lot of the brides are still real traditional and want that white on white or that pastel color. And every once in a while, I can talk them into doing something fun. But,
And when the clients come to you to make a cake, do they typically have a picture with them?
They do. A lot of them, we have a website. A lot of them go right to the website and they pick out cakes from the website, or they'll look through wedding magazines and find the pictures. And we really pride ourselves on being able to kind of replicate the cakes that they bring to us that we've never done. But by no means are they stuck to what we've done in the past. You don't have to pick a cake off the website. We can do pretty much whatever. We like a challenge.
Okay.
So.
Well, good. And so the best thing for them to do is really try to come up with something, a type of theme maybe
right.
for their wedding.
Whenever they come, usually some of the questions that we ask them is, are you looking for a more traditional look? Are you wanting bold and vibrant colors? The design, do you want it real subtle? Do you want something really wow? And by asking them these questions, we can determine whether or not they're really, interested in going all out, or if they want to keep it a little more subdued. So that's all in the tasting usually.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I wish the viewers could smell it in here because it smells so, so good. I'm getting hungry just sitting here. What are the ingredients that you typically use?
Well, of course, your flour, your eggs, your fresh butter. We do something a little different with our cakes that we don't really know anybody else who does it. The best way to describe it is we marinate our cakes. We infuse them, as we call it. They're infused cakes. So what we do is we take our basic vanilla or our basic chocolate, and we make this infusion that can literally be flavored whatever flavor you want it to be. It might be chocolate. It might be a Bailey's Irish cream. It might be a Patron, lemon, key lime. And then we literally pour that into the cake after it's baked. And so the vanilla cake then becomes very flavorful. And then in addition to that, pretty much any filling you can think of we can do. But we try to use fresh ingredients, and we really try to wow them with the flavors.
And I know later in the show I'm going to get a chance to taste one of the cakes, so I'm excited about that. But Now, when a couple decides that they're getting married, and they've calmed down from the engagement party and all of that, when's the best time for them to call you? How much notice do you need to make a cake?
We really and truly need about 2 months out to book the cake, just due to the fact that it takes a lot of time to get everything prepared and put together. And also, we book up very fast. Okay. As far as actually doing the tastings, we try to have all of that together at that time, too. Okay. So somewhere around there. 2 months should be the latest. The bride should wait, yes.
And once you start baking and making the cake, how long does that take you?
We start baking the cakes. Let's just say if a wedding is on Saturday, typically we start on Wednesday baking the cakes. We bake them, we infuse them, and then we ice them, and then we finish the final decorations on Friday. We never freeze our cakes. It's a rare occasion when we have to freeze a cake for something. We try to do everything fresh and out the door. Right. So, yeah.
Yum. And now, as far as wedding cake designs and budgets, I know that right now is a time where people are really watching how much they spend, and if a couple comes to you and maybe says, look, I have $500 that I can spend and 100 people are coming to my wedding. Is that something that you think you'd be able to do, or
it's
you definitely
work doable. With them? Definitely doable.
Okay. And does it just depend on the style
It depends on the style. We do pretty much, if you go to our website, you'll see most all of our decorations are what we consider minimal. So we do a good amount of decoration for our basic price. If you go something, you start asking for sugar flowers, that's going to take you up more. So if someone's trying to stay on a budget, we try to say, let's, maybe do fresh flowers, because that won't really cut into the cost of your cake. That's something you've already got going to your reception. And then other than that, we try to, help them pick out their flavor options to keep their prices down and so forth. But yeah, absolutely doable.
Do they still have the story where you're supposed to keep the top of the cake for a year? Do people still do that?
People still do that. It is traditional, and I do have some traditional brides that come in here and they've got to freeze that top of the cake. We do something a little different. I don't really know of anybody else that's doing it. I'm hearing that maybe it's starting to catch on. We do a 1-year reorder. So basically, your whole cake can be eaten at your reception. And then in a year's time, let's say it was your wedding, you could call me up next year, maybe a month before your anniversary, and I would make you a fresh cake for you to come pick up on your anniversary, and it's complimentary. We just think that's nice. I mean, truly, I don't know if you really should eat anything that's been in the freezer for a year.
Yeah, I don't think it would taste the same.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But so that's why we kind of stepped up and said we want you to kind of be blessed on your anniversary with something a little extra special that you might not get anywhere else.
Okay. You mentioned the consultation earlier. We touched on that a little bit. How would a typical consultation go? Is it both of the couple comes? Typically.
Yeah, it's typically we try to get both of them in here. That way they both know what they're getting into. And I will say oftentimes at least the mother of the bride is here or a friend. And they just come in, and what we do is we have about 8 different flavors for them to sit down and try, as well as they get to try the basic vanilla, the basic chocolate. They get to try a bunch of our infused cakes and then a bunch of different fillings. And so they come in and they taste. We talk about what they want, ask 100 questions and let them ask 100 questions.
Right. And is there anything specific that they need to bring with them when they come?
If they have a definite idea of what they're wanting and even a picture of this is exactly what I want, definitely bring that. If not, then we oftentimes recommend, bring your picture of your wedding dress, your colors, your stationery. It's surprising where you can find a design element for a cake. It could be in the napkins you're using. I mean, it could be in the vases that are your candles are going in. So if there's anything that they can bring, I try to help them like that.
Okay. And now what type of cake am I going to try
This
today?
is our key lime infused cake with a key lime curd, and that has the vanilla buttercream on it. And this is one of our infused cakes. This one, actually, the key lime is one of our best sellers.
It is.
Of course, us being in the South, everybody loves key lime.
Yes,
so.
in Key West.
Yes.
All right, well, here goes.
Here goes. It's very good. So it's true.
It's perfect. Well, I want to thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you.
Was there anything that you wanted to tell the viewers?
You know, if you know you want to use somebody, go ahead and do a cake tasting, especially with us, because that date might not be available anymore. And we want everybody to have an opportunity to use us if they're wanting to.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And I'm going to enjoy this cake now.
Okay.
So, thanks.